Welcome to day 6 of the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, coming to you from New Orleans, and welcome back to our live studio here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Now, of course, today's the day that some people like and most people don't like, because after the last qualifying heat and, of course, second chance race, the decision is made as to who will make the grid for the pre-final and final. I'm here tonight with Koen Lemmens from Karting Genk in Belgium.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Now, Koen, we won't go too much into who made pole for the pre-final because we're going to meet some of the guys and listen to the interviews a little bit later.
Okay.
But I guess you've been with Rotax now many, many years. Maybe you can give us a little bit of insight because you understand how important this event is, and also to make it onto the grid is important for every driver. They're working all year for this, and it's so, stressful, I guess, when you come to today and they're like, oh, I need the points, and will I make it or won't I make it?
It's a big race. It's a huge race like you said, for a lot of drivers. It's the absolute must to get here to qualify. They've worked all year very hard in order to qualify, and then they're here. And we've seen some difficult conditions today on track with wet and dry, so it's helped a few. It's caused a few problems with the others, but that's racing, and that's how everything is involved.
Yeah. Now, in your position, which maybe you can explain to us, because it's quite a few different positions that you play in karting.
Well, first of all, we're the owners of the Karting Genk track, which is hosted for a lot of international races. I think we've had 7 or 8 Euromax races. Euro Challenge races. We've done CIK races.
So the World Championship.
World Championship in 2011, which was very successful. So we're known for this role, but on the other hand, we're Rotax distributors for Belgium and Luxembourg. So we've been with Rotax in that regard for over, I guess, 20 years. Yeah. We've had a few good drivers come along, like Jenson Button, who won the Super A championship in, if I'm not wrong, 1997. We own a race team. We're engine builders. So we've got a fair role of karting.
Yeah. You also organize events like
yes, we do.
The BNL.
Yeah. Correct.
So this is also an international race to a degree.
Yeah.
And you see probably a little bit more than we do when you come to a huge event like this in America, like the Grand Finals.
I must say I like this event, the Grand Finals, incredibly, because not only from a sporting point of view, where you have over 300 drivers, and I especially admire the Micro and the Minimax coming in this year. So I absolutely love the racing because the level of competition is very high. The evenness of the competition is making it very tough for a lot of drivers. But not only from a driver's point of view, but as an organizer, we know how much effort you need to put in to organize such an event and to make it a success. So every time it's hats off for the whole Rotax crew.
And as you were telling me earlier today, there are many, many things that we don't even think about that you have to consider and be organized for when you bring maybe around 2,000 people to one venue for a week.
It's different when, excuse me, I brought a cold from Europe. It involves a lot of things, and especially when you look at this type of venue where you have roughly 2,000 people coming in. And what makes this event special basically is that you have a lot of drivers that qualify from all over the world. So you have an Olympic Games spirit here, but especially it's also what I know, and the only type of venue that I know that has such a big family attraction. This for me is the only race venue where you go, where you see moms, dads, uncles and aunts, and they all fly in because it's such a big event and such a nice event.
And when you consider what you run in Karting Genk, which is probably one of the most outstanding venues, I'm not just saying that, really, and the circuit in the world. So much time, so much effort, so much thought went into, producing really a driver's track, but also the facilities. You run German Championship, you run WSK, CIK, whatever it might be, European Championship for Rotax, the Euro Challenge, Belgian Championship. When you consider the difference between them, what would you say for the future? Some of the things that you can take away, or that you can say, this is what we do and this is why, because it has to be professional.
That's a difficult one. I think, and maybe not to boast ourselves, but I think a few years ago, it's about 10 years ago, when we rebuilt the track and made it to its international standard it has today, I guess our perspective was that we wanted to put the customer first. And I think we've been a pioneer to a certain extent in that range. So whatever you do in organizing, in hosting people, if they come for a leisure drive, if they come for rental or corporate cars, or for international racing as this, I think our perspective is to give the best of yourself towards an open position for the customer, so that he's happy. Whenever he's happy, he comes back, he gives you great publicity, and that, I think, is the name of the game.
And I notice every time we go back to Karting Genk, you've done something new or changed something. Now you've got the big,
we've got video
beautiful,
walls,
LED screens. And what then, when you consider all the different championships, what would you say Rotax has done or is doing that creates such a really stable championship, but also to have an event like this after 14 years still growing?
I think the answer is pretty easy on that one. From its beginning, Rotax has set up a clear set of rules which they implemented in all the different countries, with great respect of those regulations, with a clear vision, a clear mission of their target, where they wanted karting to be. And they've brought that level of karting into so many different countries, but all with the same base. So it makes it easy to compete for a lot of drivers, and when they come over, let it be on the European continent, in the US, or wherever in the world, they find the same regulations, the same stable regulations, the same stable product, and I think that is the most or the biggest success factor for Rotax to bring out, in the end, a venue like this.
Now, seeing you've been with Rotax for so many years, even before the 125 push button,
Yep.
what would you have thought when you saw the first grand finals in Puerto Rico? Would you have thought it will turn into something like this? What were your thoughts then? Because you were there from the beginning.
Yeah. I think it's grown. The potential was there, but also with, I must say, with a great crew of partners like the guys from Card Data and all the supporting teams. They do a great job and they bring out professionalism. And I think there is more to come yet.
Yeah. Okay, so that sounds exciting. Now, last night we had Manfred Weisgerber from, well, he used to be from Rotax, but now he's working as a consultant with Hyder now. Mr. Mojo, we call him. We were talking about how many tyres come here, and he said, yeah, I think nearly 5,000, and that really blew me away because I think they're all handmade. He was nice enough to give us this video, and I thought we might have a look. Thank you very much for joining us. And,
thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's anytime you can come to the studio. It's always good, and we're looking forward to, will we have the grand finals in Genk, or? I don't know.
I'd prefer doing it in August then, rather than in November.
Okay. However, please join us. Watch the video about Mojo, and you probably know more about this than I do at this point. So, yeah, stay tuned, watch us, and then we'll be coming back with some of the pole sitters for the pre-finals tomorrow. So,
thank you.
So there you have it. How to make a Mojo tyre in 27 minutes per tyre. And a couple of months, of course, curing. But it's incredible. If you could really imagine that every tyre takes so long. And we just like take them, put them on and drive them, and that's it. Used already. I'm here now with two of our pole sitters. Oliver from Senior Max.
Yep.
Yeah, and Kazim, DD2. Got it right. But before we go talk too much about qualifying, I know it was really a little bit of a challenging day. We spoke about this with two of the other guys from Junior Max and DD2 Masters. And in Junior Max, we have Kyle Kirkwood. And in DD2 Masters, we have Alan Rudolph, both the American drivers. So the Americans have shown up good in the end. Oliver, you're from the UK, I know from Great Britain, and Lithuania. So a little bit of a mixture there. But two from the US. We're going to have a listen to what they had to say about qualifying for pole position in the pre-final, and of course how they were perhaps changing a few things leading up to the qualifying heats. So in the end, these guys are on top, pre-final pole, and then we'll come back and have a chat with you guys. Let's have a look. Kyle Kirkwood, our Junior Max pole position for the pre-final. Now, Kyle, from Florida in the US, not so far away.
Yep, it's about a 13-hour drive from Jupiter to here.
Okay, so one of the local drivers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, now tell me, how are you feeling? After 3 qualifying heats, it's been quite a challenging 2 days.
Yeah, it feels great. I finished second in the first one, second in the second one, and first in the last one. So I start pole for tomorrow in the pre-final. That's great.
It wasn't all so easy though, was it, in the racing?
No, in the first one, Vips was behind me and he passed me, and I just couldn't get back past him. In the second one, it was very hard. A lot of good racers out there, and in the third one, I just checked out, and Vips was right behind me. He just couldn't get by me.
What about when the weather changed? Did you have much change to the setup from qualifying through till today?
We didn't have much time to, so we've had pretty much the same exact setup that we've had through qualifying, and for the last one, it just dried up in Parfumé, and we couldn't really change anything, so we just stayed at that.
Were you excited when you saw the results and thought, yes, I'm on pole?
Yeah, I figured it if I had first and Kingsley finished like 4th, 5th, or 6th, I could get it, and he did in the second heat, so that was great.
How important is it for you now on this circuit to be starting right at the front when you come to the pre-final?
Oh, it's a big deal because anybody on the outside, you just get pushed wide, and it's not
The
very
starts
good.
are very fast, aren't they, here?
Yeah, because you have so much room, then the track widens out when you go into turn 1, and everybody goes down the inside. Whoever goes to the outside gets somebody taken, and
That's it. You're up.
yeah.
But luckily, you're on pole position. I remember you said to me in the qualifying, I asked you, was it important? Because you said you got a tow. And I said, was it important to get the slipstream? What is going to happen when all the good drivers come together in the pre-final down the back straight for the slipstream? What do you think?
There'll be a lot of blocking going down the long straight, and
I thought that was illegal, blocking.
well, not blocking, but defensive move, but everybody just calls it blocking. Everybody will go down to the inside of the track just so nobody get by, and nobody's going to be too dangerous and try and put it on the outside, of course, or through the grass on the inside.
Now, in that particular section, we had a look at the track earlier in the week in our studio, and it's really quite hairy through there. You've got at the end of the straight, and then you've got the curb on the right, then of course the chicane.
Yeah, those barriers on the outside, if whoever gets into those, it's not going to be very good for them.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Okay, we'll let you go, and yeah, well done. It's been great racing, as you said, very close, and I think everyone's going to be hanging on for the pre-final. Have you got some friends and family at home there watching?
Well, my family's here, and I have my 2 grandparents from Texas that are most likely watching, and that's about it.
Anyone you'd like to say thank you at this point?
Yeah, all of OGP, Energy for putting out the great product, Rotax, Mike Speed, my mechanic Cody Johnson, Gary Carlton, Alex Speed, and that's about it.
Everyone else?
Yeah, pretty much everyone.
Very good. It's been great to be watching, and it's good to have you here. I know you only just qualified through the Pan American, so here you are, first grand finals, pole position for the pre-final.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Alan Rudolph, pole position for the DD2 Masters. Fantastic effort after 3 heats, and What have you got to say? You happy?
Yeah, so far, obviously, couldn't be happier. Batting 1,000 at this point, qualified on pole, and was able to win all 3 heat races. So, looking forward to starting on pole for the pre-final for sure.
How important is it on this circuit, but at this point, international level racing, to be really at the front for the start of the pre-final for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a goal, all year. I went to Portugal last year, was my first grand finals, and I went there with all the expectations of being able to run up front like I am here this weekend. Kind of fell a little bit short. Was maybe top 5, 6, 7 in the pre-final, or in the final was passing for 5th and had a little scuffle. Ended up finishing 17th, so it was a huge disappointment. And this year we come back and I'd say we're kind of on our A game for this weekend.
I think you've made a really big impact on everybody been watching, but of course the competition is so close, and of course today we had a little bit of a change in the weather. Yeah. So was there much change for you then with the setup and everything?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, it probably left everyone scrambling. 1 minute it was raining, the next minute it wasn't. It was dry. We quickly, we had put on rain setup for this morning practice, and all of a sudden it was dry again. So we started changing everything back. Then clouds opened up, and now we're back into rain again. And so we ran that our 3rd heat race, and it was wet. And somebody made a comment. I didn't know guys from Arizona could drive in the rain, but I grew up in the Midwest here in the United States and drove a lot in the rain as a kid. So rain's nothing new to me, and so was able to pull off another win, and here we are sitting on the front row.
Yeah, and I guess your sponsors and your friends and team are really happy with this now.
Yeah, for sure. I can't thank Michael Dobbelstein has helped us at PSL Atlantic and PSL get to this point the last couple of years. And this weekend, obviously, we're here in the United States, and my family's here. Gosh, all of my family's here. Not only my wife and kids, and my dad, my mom, my in-laws, everyone's here. And so it's awesome. And then I brought my best friend Jesse Dunham to help me tune on the hot rod all weekend, and he's doing a great job with that. So looking forward to it.
I know from the counter, the Americans are winning the race with Who's Watching, and I'm sure there's a lot of friends and fans out there wishing you all the best. So well done, pre-final pole, and it's really been great racing, so we're looking forward to the finals.
I am too. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going. That's the goal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So there we have it, 2 of our pole sitters for tomorrow's pre-final, Junior Max and DD2 Masters. And of course, some very happy drivers like the 2 that are sitting here with me now. It's been a long couple of days, guys. The racing has been phenomenal. Oliver, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your qualifying heats from qualifying through till taking pre-final pole.
We've actually had a really good run for all our races. Qualifying was very close. And initially in qualifying we got 3rd. I think the top 6 was probably split by a 10th, so yeah, really close. We've been fast all through practice really as well. So, and the heats have provided some changing conditions as well with the rain today.
Of course, you looked really good in the 3rd heat there in the wet, but something happened towards the end. I know you sort of dropped off the pace a little. Philip Morin came past, and then he made a mistake, and Charlie Eastwood passed him. We spoke with Philip earlier today, but what happened there?
We was going quite well, but I think a lot of people had the same issue as where the spark plug was starting to fail in the rain.
Okay,
unfortunately.
So from all the water.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people had the same issue, but luckily mine only did it on the last lap. I lost a couple of places because of it, but it wasn't the end of the world.
Now, thinking about being on pre-final pole, did you expect to be there when you came to the event? Because you said to me earlier, it's really a big effort. You've got a lot of support for the guys to get you here. Did you think, I'm going to be there? Were you pretty confident with that?
I was hoping, obviously, that I'd be near the sharp end, so I guess I was always hoping I'd been at the sharp end when I came, but I'm really happy that I've come out. I'm in the best position to start tomorrow, really.
I think you must have had a pretty good setup though, because the pace was quite good and you looked pretty good, other than the problem, like you say, in the 3rd heat. So
yeah, I think we've been consistently fast. The guys at Chaos Sport are doing a really good job at setting up my car, and I think I've got very good equipment here as well, because I know some people with all the equipment being raffled, there's a chance that your equipment might be very good, might be a little bit worse than someone else's.
But what do you think about that? What's your opinion about all getting the same equipment? There's the engine, not having 3 to choose from, not having your own things. Is it good or bad?
I really like it, because instead of sitting there thinking, I might be able to change to a different car or a different engine, working with your equipment at a weekend, you get given your equipment, and and that's that. So you and your team can just focus on making that the best you can.
Have you
And-
enjoyed that, driving a different kart? And
Yeah, it's interesting to drive a different car.
Yeah.
It gives a new challenge because most people probably don't choose to run the chassis we have been given this weekend.
that's right. But it is interesting that you're almost forced to have to do it. You work all year with your own equipment, and suddenly they go, okay, that's what you got to play with this week. So no, it's interesting. I'm interested to hear the opinions. So now, I know that you've done really well. You've worked really hard all year to be here, and of course, I guess it takes a lot of people behind you. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for getting you here and supporting you?
Without my sponsors, for sure, I wouldn't be here at all. I'd like to say a special thanks to my biggest sponsor, Arc Fabrications, back in the UK.
They're watching.
Because they've given me extra special support to be here this week in particular. But they've support all my sponsors support me so much throughout the year because I've not come from a wealthy family, so without their help, I wouldn't be able to do any racing.
What about the team, the mechanic? And
Oh yeah, they're doing a
is he
great.
actually eating this week, or is he living on biscuits that he brought with him? Because you said to me, I hope my mechanic's okay with it. But I tell you what, I think every mechanic just loves to be here. It's like the event
Yeah.
of the year. So as long as you keep feeding him, he's only got one more day to go.
He's being fed. Unfortunately, he's not the best behaved mechanic this week, but hopefully he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. And all the guys that are with you, I think they're very, very excited. Now, because you've done so well, a little birdie told me that you've got a great opportunity coming up. Is this true?
Yes, I've got a good opportunity to go race KF and do mainly some European Championship events and hopefully a World Cup at the end of the year. And I'm really excited because it's a new challenge for me.
Yeah. And also the guys treated you to was it Formula Ford?
I was lucky enough that the guys who the form I think is MVP
Yeah.
or who and the Formula 4 champ, the guys who run Formula 4 themselves have offered me a free test, kind of promoting their series.
I
And
think they were looking for a good driver, were they?
yeah, well,
Make the car look good.
I think they
No.
were kind of trying to draw people into doing the championship to
Yeah.
demonstrate demonstrate their car and their championship, and
Yeah.
I loved it because I've been looking to have a go in one for a while.
So you're happy to stand in if someone can't make it one weekend?
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, you were driving in the wet, and that might be why you were so quick today in the wet, because you've had a little bit of practice.
Yeah, a little practice in the Formula 4 in the
Yeah.
wet.
So this
Yeah.
is nothing now. But
Well-
we talked a little bit to lots of drivers about what their dreams are. So now we've really, when it comes down to it, when we talk to a lot of the senior drivers and the DD2 drivers, they will say, if I don't have the budget, if I don't have the sponsors, I really want to just race karts and do my best and maybe win the world final or the European Championship or something. And today we've heard it one more time. You've got a fantastic opportunity that you've been given. You've had a little bit of a taste of the car racing, but you say, hey, if I can't make this because of the budget, however, you just never know what can happen in the future. In the meantime, Oliver, well done. Congratulations for pre-final pole. It's been fantastic to have you here. Kazim now is going to give us a little bit of a alternate view. Thank you. Now, Kazim, all the way from Lithuania,
Yes,
and you are 24 years old.
23.
23 years old. Okay, 23 years old. Don't want to add any years. You've been racing since you were 8, I think you told me.
Exactly.
Yeah. You've only raced in the last 2 years, 8 times, 4 times in the last 12 months.
Yes.
You stopped
Just-
racing to race Formula 2 for a
Yes.
few years.
Yes, right.
Did very well in the championship in Europe. And suddenly we find you pole
Yeah.
position in the pre-final. Oliver even said that's very impressive when you can just turn up and haven't raced since August. So tell us, how was it the racing today, especially against your teammate, Simo Sherevicius? He must be hating this.
I feel really great. As you told that this year I made only 4 races.
Yeah.
So since I ended my racing driver career, it was in 2010 when I drove with Formula 2. I just made few races, few tests per year just to enjoy it.
In Rotax, you came back to Rotax.
Yeah, exactly. I stopped my career with formulas, and then in 2012, one team from Lithuania, Arkava Racing, they asked me, "Oh, Kazim, there is a great series, Rotax. Maybe you want to try it?" I said, "Of course. I enjoy go-kart," and they invited me, and I made my first race in 2012 with Rotax. And since then, I'm racing with Rotax.
Well, we saw you in Portimao
Yes,
as well.
1 year ago, yes.
Yeah, sixth
Uh,
position.
Sixth, yeah. I
Yeah.
finished sixth, so the result was also good.
Yeah.
Actually, when I went to Portugal, I had big expectations. I mean, I used to race in 2006, 7 with go-kart in European Championship with Kiza Chu. I finished fifth in the championship. So in the past, I used to be, let's say, on top.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I come to this championship, why not?
Should it be easy? Did you
And,
think it would
yeah,
be easy?
To be honest, yes. To be honest, I thought,
I've heard
okay,
that before.
to be honest, I thought it won't be so hard.
Yeah.
But when I came there, my God, I think in first free practice I was 35th, then 29th, 13th, and then in the end I
Got better
finished.
and better.
Yeah, better and better.
Same here.
Same here, but
Yeah.
actually when I came here, I was thinking, people were asking me, what do you think? Which result can you achieve? I said, yeah, last year I saw that it's gonna be really hard. I
Yeah.
mean, you get the same material. I had same championship, let's say, same concept in Formula 2.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. You need to be prepared, and me, for races. I'm not that well prepared, but as you see, it works well.
And as far as the racing goes, how could you sum up the last 2 days with the heat racing? What do you think? It's going to be close for the pre-final?
Yes,
Yeah.
really close. I came here 1 week ago, and I think 5 days ago we went to go with the rent cart,
Yeah.
and I said the track is great. I really
Yeah.
like that.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. The
Yeah.
track is fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a mix of different corners, really.
And of course, you were a little bit lucky. We talked about this when I spoke with you on the grid after the last heat.
Yes.
Daniel Formal, the local hero, I guess,
Yeah.
17-year-old, unfortunately had a little bit of an off, and that was it. You
Yes.
were free to go.
Yes.
However, I know you have some really tough competitors, and
We
the
have.
DD2 class is incredibly close.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
If you see the qualifying, I finished fourth, and I lost half tenth from the first. So I'm sure that tomorrow you will see a really good fight.
Yeah.
It will
I'm
be
sure.
rain or dry, it doesn't matter. You will see a really
Yeah.
good fight.
And we will be watching for sure.
Yes, yes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
No one will leave their TV, their internet.
Yes.
It's going to be
You
really,
need
yeah.
because it's so
Yeah.
great to see that in the internet. I mean, the championship is organized so well. For example, I tried to watch because Simas, the Lithuanian
Yes.
driver, was driving in European Championship, and it was really hard to find it. Hard to find each. You couldn't see each match. You could see only the final. And now here in Rotterdam, you can see each
Yeah,
match. You
every
can
day.
see everything. So great.
If you slip up, the mechanics are watching. I know. So they can see everything, even
Yeah,
if you
it's
don't
really
think
great.
they can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just before we go as well, we talked about tomorrow if it's going to rain or be sunny or what's going to happen. We'll look at the weather. Before that, I have to ask you guys, not forget to vote if you haven't voted for the 3 best helmets for the grand finals that we chose on Facebook. Now, leading the way is Kevin Ludy's 2013 grand finals, about 260 votes. About 30 votes behind him now, overtaken for second place, is the Rotax engine helmet. Have you seen anything like
No,
this?
I
It's
didn't.
unbelievable. Morgan Hipp. And of course, running third is Wagner Simon from Austria. Now, Simon, get your friends voting. You guys have to vote on Facebook. You can only vote for one. And these guys, whoever wins tomorrow will know by 12 o'clock is the deadline, New Orleans time. You have to vote by 12 o'clock, so please vote. And then they will get a fantastic new race bag from the grand finals as a commemorative souvenir to take away. So please vote. We were talking about the weather. No rain.
Just cloudy.
Fantastic. And I think around 25, 26 degrees Celsius for the folks at home who don't know Fahrenheit, like us. But looks good. A little bit cloudy, so not too hot for the track, not too grippy maybe. Will you have new tyres on tomorrow?
Yes.
New Mojos?
Yes, new modules.
Just think everyone took 27 minutes to make when you're putting those tyres on, okay?
Really fast. Yeah.
So, yes, keep that in mind. If you haven't seen the video, it is available. Look at the Rotax official website, so you can go home and watch that again if you want. So, in the meantime, thanks, guys. Is there anyone else before we leave, Kazim, that you'd like to thank that's helped you? RKV Racing,
Yeah, exactly.
all the guys.
3 years ago, they called me. They
Yeah.
asked me, "You want to race?" Definitely. Since
here
then,
you are.
I'm with them. I really thank you them.
Thanks to them, pole position for the pre-final tomorrow in DD2. Watch out for Oliver, pole position in Senior Max. Also, our young driver, Kyle, from the US, and Alan Rudolph, also from the US in the DD2 Masters. Thanks for joining us. Be watching tomorrow, the live broadcast all day, live timing. Stay in touch on Facebook and wish these guys luck. We will leave you with it. So, good weather tomorrow, the last day of the Rotax Max Challenge, 14th Grand Finals. Thanks for joining us.